Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's review what we learned this week. Xin is the first one. 3 of gold or metal. And the Chinese oftentimes depends on the context. It can be gold or metal. Metal as a general, broader category term versus gold is a particular kind of metal. So both can coexist harmoniously on the same character. And this fortune, when 3 of them, lots of metal or gold, that's like resource rich or mineral rich. Wait, hold on. No, metal rich. That's Chinese concept of fortune or wealth. Simply means you accumulate lots. And 3 of them is the stacking. And compare with the ancient way of rendering here is looking at the shape transformation. We see the ancient times. Well, I visually paste 3 of them together because this was created after at least 2,000 years ago's dictionary. It was like, it simply shows people's well wishes to make more money. I guess as a society advances, like people feel the more of a need or sensitivity to their wealth accumulation. So, I mean, personal finance was such a big thing, right, in today's capitalist society. And so in China, probably was not so much different, like survival and also make lots of money, pass down your fortune, things like that. It's kind of universal. So the difference between the 2,000 years ago's gold or metal imagery to today's rendering is this top horizontal line and this kind of reversed L shape thing collapsed into one, and it becomes a triple horizontal line connected together with 2 dots to differentiate, because we have 3 horizontal lines connected by vertical line, and this vertical line kind of stopped on the top and end of the horizontal line, and that can mean either the king or the ruler, which came from the symbol of the power staff, decorated staff to show the power. A stick, right? And decorated is like on the top, there's something going on here. Or be jade, because jade ancient times used to be served as a currency. It's I guess light enough, rare enough, easy to store, transport, and then ancient times would cut or file jade into a disc shape and have a middle, cut a hole through it so that we can put a string through it. So 3 of them simply is a side view of 3 discs of jade connected by a string. And by that, already 2 meanings share the same imagery. So to differentiate that, somebody add a dot at the bottom because, of course, the king, the ruler of the country, has to keep their imagery, and it's the jade who has to differentiate itself from the king. And then we have this 1 dot. Now we have 2 dots here. So no worry about differentiation, and simplified of this character by collapsing the top horizontal line with this. This horizontal line originally forms a picture with this triangle looking thing. That means a pile. And when simplification happened, that collapsed, and we still have a sort of a triangle there, but you see this like gold nugget still in here. And I point out here, the slanting line here shows the writing efficiency, because we, for the longest time, Chinese write left to right sequence, actually top to down sequence, but within the same character, double gold imagery next to each other. We finish the left one first, and then jump from here. This is the last stroke of this character, and then we jump to the next one, and this is the first point of landing of the next character. And you can see the jump here from here to here, right? By slanting it simply shows that the brush goes easily from this end, this low point of the frame, jump to the highest point of the frame of the next character is for the efficiency of writing. All right. Forest, 3 wood stacking up together shows the diversity, the density. It simply visually shows you the forest. And ancient version is more rounded, more curves. And contemporary Chinese flatten out the canopy of the tree, which kind of grows this way and kind of flatten out like that. Again, for simplicity of writing. Here, flood, made of 3 water pictographs together. And this water, you see how fluid dynamic it looks, right? It's like a reverse S curve. It's imitating how water would flow in nature, kind of a stream, a creek down there. And then even the side was broken down like that. So it's like 5 strokes to depict water flowing in nature. And contemporary Chinese, we straighten out instead of this curvature, this natural flowing, free flowing water. We kind of pipe it like vertically strict. And at the hook, this hook thing, besides add visual interest, also serves as a point of jumping your brush from the end of this, because this is the first stroke, the end of this, and then you lift your pen, your brush, start from here, going this way. So this shows the writing stroke direction. And yet, triple fire 火 symbol doesn't sound the same, right? But visually, definitely connected. And you can see ancient version doesn't look much difference. However, contemporary version, if you examine closely, this right dot originally was self-standing, kind of parallel to the left dot that shows the sparkle, this random escaped tiny bits of fire flames in there, kind of attached to the main body of the fire, this cone shape. And also this left side of the fire, bottom left, is shortened to a kind of a larger dot. And you can see here is dot, dot, and here is another dot. It's using the same kind of a brush way, kind of stop right there. It doesn't go long, like a longer stroke, because on the right side we have another fire symbol, and this longer stroke is kind of overlapping with it. So instead of covering it or overlapping the 2 characters, this one gets shortened, and that makes sense, right? I guess that's a Chinese feature. Occasionally, character components like a top down, left, right, out, in, and occasionally one is linked with another kind of in a more intricate way, interconnected way. But for the most part, when we place visual elements, that's kind of, we keep kind of integrity, keep it not close, but not touching, right? So this is one such example. And mound, this triple soil symbol together. And you can see ancient times looks almost exactly the same, except here, contemporary version, slant the bottom for the ease of writing, or show you the direction of the next, where it goes, right? Show you the stroke direction. And lei, rocky, 3 stones stacking up together. We have this top left corner signifying high ground, and then we have the stone just describing one, and you can picture the rest of it. And that's the beauty of a human intelligence, right? We just one-shot inference without us being fed many different shapes, sizes of rock. And the difference of that is, again, there's a floating rock thing. The stone was floating here, got attached to, instead of creating this top left corner that you have to write this way, here for the, I guess, ease of writing as well, we start from the left to right, this top horizontal line, and then we do this slanting way of stroke. And therefore, it can touch the floating or self-standing stone shape. So that's quite a big change. And I think it's a good change because it facilitates writing, and also it kind of reduce the self-floating things, kind of a panel control. It's almost like our global continents somehow can find each other and attach and merge into bigger continents instead of many, many, many islands floating on the surface of the globe, right? So it's a similar way of thinking almost in a character creation. We reduce the floating part and piece it together to kind of have a touch point to attach one visual element to another to make you look at this and know, oh, this is one word. And as I said, different characters, they try to not to touch each other. Occasionally they would, but for the most part, like here, right, it stay clear of each other. Like this wood, also I didn't call out, like a shui. Wow, when we place them together, we kind of can see how it all works, right? All these 3 dots are shortened strokes. That's going to, if you extend it to the full shape, it's going to intersect with another character. And Chinese want to avoid that situation by turning that longer stroke, shorten it, make it into a dot, right? But visually, no harm done. You can still tell these are 3 of the same thing, copy paste 3 times. And another thing is this bottom horizontal line. Because we have another character right after one after another, so it got slanted. So it shows you the visually this brush is going to stop. It's going to jump on the top of the frame. So if we change this visual into audio, it's almost melodic. Like you sing a low pitch and immediately rise up, something like that. All right, so here I'm pointing out the simplification of a jin character that's collapsing of one visual element with another one into one horizontal line. And because it got differentiated enough from the king or the jade image by having 2 dots here, so no confusion there. And the bottom slanting, and the top line slanting, so it's connected, and the straightening of the canopy, this curve got flattened out, and the water got verticalized, like a perfect 90 degree, instead of like a free flowing sine wave. Originally, it got straightened out, and the fire got attached, at least one side of the sparkle. You have one, you see, still self-floating out there. But we see, because of the proximity, this single dot is not something else. It's not another character. It belonged to the same frame. And it retained its, escaped sparkle, detached from the main body, but the other side is attached. And this shortening of this dot thing to avoid overlapping of 2 characters. Keep the integrity. So sometimes we keep the integrity of each other, sometimes we merge, right? Like this stone image, we try to attach it so that reduce the self-floating thing, but sometimes we keep it. So there's no absolute simple rule making, but through this we can see a lot is about efficiency of writing, easy of recognition, and reduce some like a complexity of the visual elements, reduce like 2 horizontal lines collapse into one on the top here, and attach so that reduce the floating thing, same character packed and all connected together as one frame, a picture. So all that got evolved over time and make our today's language still sort of recognizable from the original form, but definitely layer in the efficiency of writing. So here, from fortune of these golden nuggets, a pile of gold, to a rock pile, a pile of rocks. So these are like perfectly representing